Markle posted a bizarre video on her social media yesterday, which sent several people into absolute meltdown. It is the cringiest, most uncomfortable piece of tape I've seen in a long time. I'm sorry, but I'm going to make you watch it.
1 month, 2 months, 3 months, hit the baby mama when I step into the house.
She's supposedly 9 months pregnant in the hospital room, dancing with a big belly.
You will witness Meghan Markle perform a very clumsy yet amazing dance in the coming minutes. The royal guard blinked gravely and precisely on cue due to the lack of coordination. We may never know if Megyn Kelly and Joe Rogan's sudden appearance at a yoga retreat was a dance or a cry for assistance in artistic form, but one thing is certain. This footage contains more secondhand embarrassment than Prince Harry at a family reunion. Fasten your seatbelt.
Spreads her legs, she hikes her dress, circles her genitals around and around. Okay. This is deeply problematic on a number of levels. Number one, here's the problem. We don't like you, Meghan Markle. We don't like.
Just when we believed the Duchess of Delusion couldn't possibly find a new partner, Meghan Markle did it again. A means of humiliating herself in front of the world, with a dance video so clumsy that it made dad dancing. At weddings look like Swan Lake, she shot to internet fame. Meghan would have won gold, silver, and a restraining order from Rhythm itself if cringing had been an Olympic event.
Park rules.
They fucking rule.
They went at Harry and Meghan.
She's suing them.
And they're trying to sue him. It's like, don't
What are you?
fucking
You're suing South Park.
kick that hornet's nest. Do not.
Really?
Like,
Well, you know what's going on. Someone wanted a lot of attention, and now they got it.
that was the whole episode.
That was the app.
Yeah.
That was the
Is
premise.
that what it was? Like, we want privacy, and they keep going on every magazine.
Be a regular person.
Yeah.
Go get a job in an.
A publicist is most likely hyperventilating into a paper bag somewhere in Montecitoto, while ever since Prince Harry juggled. Oranges for Oprah, Meghan twirls like she's the star of a tampon commercial that no one asked for. And who better to give it the sardonic roasting it deserves than Joe Rogan and Megyn Kelly, the unofficial king and queen. Of does she really just do that commentary?
And no amount of posting videos that you think are going to humanize you will make us like you. You've already shown us your true colors. We know who you are. You helped kill the queen. You didn't give two shits about calling the royal family racist while Prince Philip was on his deathbed and casting aspersions on him. You have completely undermined all the amazing gifts that this family has given you as nothing and suggested that they didn't care you were suicidal and they were the ones who drove.
Let's begin with the dance. Picture a theater instructor at a high school, attempting to recreate their heyday, save for dancing with limbs in crisis and replacing glory with delusion. Meghan's body missed the memo, as her arms moved like she was fending off invisible bees, and her legs were locked in a custody battle with gravity. If rhythm were a language, she would be speaking Martian fluently. Meghan flailed across the screen with the energy of someone who watched one TikTok and decided she too could be a Gen Z icon.
Well, I'm a little upset with Prince Harry, but other than that, it's working out really well.
Are you mad that he left the throne or whatever the fuck he did?
No, I mean,
Doesn't it make sense?
well, it probably makes sense because, I don't know that he's the sharpest tool in the box, and he's probably thinking we can make a lot more money if, but they're not supposed to make any money off of being a member of the royal family, and yet they've trademarked apparently sort of their.
One look at the video and people assumed it was either a deepfake or some kind of experimental therapy session. Because really, what else do you call a grown woman, married to a prince, pirouetting in linen pants like she's auditioning for So You Think You Can Dance, Royal Crisis Edition? And Megyn Kelly? She didn't just roast Meghan, she slow roasted. Her flipped her halfway through, then hit the popcorn button for spite. Because when your entire persona is built on liberating yourself from the monarchy while still chasing Netflix money, and you follow it up with interpretive dance that screams, "I skimmed a beginner's guide to chakras," you're not making a statement, you're inviting satirical euthanasia. Let's zoom out. Meghan Markle has always been on a mission to redefine royalty, just one awkward public meltdown at a time. First came the teary-eyed interviews, then the podcasts. That felt like rejected Hallmark pilots. And now, this. A dance video so mortifying it makes Prince Andrew's BBC interview look like a masterclass in crisis PR. This wasn't just cringe. This was artisanal, small batch, farm-to-table cringe. A curated humiliation. The kind of content you send your enemies to make them block you out of second-hand shame. Meghan spinning like she just discovered her own reflection isn't the spiritual reawakening she thinks it is. It's performance art for the emotionally bewildered.
Meghan, there. Is that a real baby bump, or has she strapped it on? Because
weird.
She's got form for strapping on baby bumps. So what do you think as you see it? I think
there's something very wrong with that shape, in my view. I don't know. Look, I'm mesmerised, but I'm kind of. Do you know what I'm thinking? I'm glad the Queen is no longer with us, because oh my Lord, how she would be shuddering at those images. It's so undignified.
Let's be honest. You know, she thought it was profound. Meghan probably imagined herself as some enlightened feminist shaman, unlocking her inner goddess while swaying like a buffering gif in linen pants. But the only thing she truly connected with was the collective eye roll of the internet. Megyn Kelly didn't just call it out, she cackled. You could practically hear her keyboard buckle under the weight of pure, unfiltered sarcasm. This wasn't a critique, it was a full-on ceremonial burial of Meghan's credibility, complete with glitter jazz hands and a eulogy co-written by Logic and Joe Rogan. Speaking of Joe, he dissected that video like it was an alien artifact. Equal parts confusion and existential despair. You could tell Meghan's flailing limbs offended something primal in him, like his MMA instincts were personally insulted. Watching that clip felt like a yoga retreat gone full hostage crisis. And Joe, being the high priest of grounded masculinity, had just one question. Not metaphorically, but literally. Why? The sad truth is, Meghan still thinks she's starring in a coming-of-age drama. Every public humiliation, just another act in her grand journey of self-discovery. But to the rest of us, it's a mid-season disaster with no finale in sight, just interpretive dance breaks and a Spotify rejection letter taped to the wall.
Like the gross disrespect to the intimacy and privacy of marriage and childbirth. You know, there are some moments that are supposed to be between a husband and a wife only. And the moments before you give birth to your child is one of them, when you are together in that room and your child is coming. And maybe you do have a fun moment. This is not how I spent my moments before giving birth, but maybe you do have a fun moment, but it's private. It's actually holy.
Let's not forget, this is the same Meghan Markle who once begged for privacy, then launched herself onto every platform that didn't block her on sight. And when the world collectively changed the channel, she apparently thought if she just danced hard enough, we'd mistake desperation for depth. This isn't just a woman having a weird afternoon. This is a full-scale campaign of cringe, a strategic offensive of secondhand embarrassment. And the dance, honestly, not even the worst part. It was the smugness, the performative serenity, that I'm so free now smile. The vibe of someone who just broke up with the truth and wants full custody of the delusion. She moved like someone who skimmed an article on expressive movement during a layover at LAX and decided she too could become the face of spiritual liberation. But Meghan, it's not expression, it's a cry for help in interpretive jazz form. At this point, you could lock her in a cardboard box and she'd still find a way to make it about finding her voice. And that's exactly what Megyn Kelly dismantled, with the precision of a bitter surgeon. The self-importance, the faux enlightenment. The idea that Meghan's spinning like a busted Roomba is somehow empowering.
My point, they can do whatever the fuck they want, but it would have been nice if they told their grandmother so that she didn't have to find out about it on the news. I thought that was kind of
The Queen?
spotted dick move, but yeah.
Spotted dick.
Yeah.
The Queen!
The Queen!
She found out on Twitter. Has Prince Harry left the throne?
That is a remarkably accurate
Thank you.
voice.
I've worked hard at it.
She's so she found out on TV, but you know they want to be financially independent. You know, they trademarked the Duke and Duchess of Sussex in a variety of different ways, apparently, and she's going to go back to doing whatever she did. And
It's that little American hussies he's hooked up with.
Meghan didn't just drag her. She gift-wrapped the dragging, tied it with a satin bow of mockery, and had it hand-delivered to Montecito. If Meghan's dance was supposed to silence the haters, it backfired spectacularly. Instead of a mic drop, it was more like tripping over the mic, knocking over the camera, bursting into tears, and blaming colonialism on the way down. Even Joe Rogan, who usually spends his time talking about gorillas, DMT, and elk meat, sounded more coherent than Meghan in this moment. He watched her public unraveling with the blank stare of a disappointed gym teacher. And when Joe Rogan becomes the voice of reason, it's time to sit down, hydrate, and reconsider every decision you've ever made. The internet's reaction? Unhinged joy. Twitter became a mosh pit of sarcasm. TikTok turned it into a challenge. Recreate Meghan's dance without spraining your soul. Instagram influencers were doing frame-by-frame breakdowns like it was the Zapruder film. But in her eternal delusion, Meghan probably thinks she started a movement. She'll call it the Duchess Flow. There'll be a book, a guided meditation, a scented candle that smells like misplaced ambition, all under the banner of empowerment, which in Meghan speak translates roughly to, please clap.
She's reportedly bullied virtually everybody who's ever worked for her. She can't keep a staff in London. She can't keep a staff in Montecito. She's a bully. She's obsessed with her own ego, face on television, etc., and playing the victim. And for her to need to make it into an ego trip, which she's clearly doing. Look at me dancing. I'm still fun and I'm sexy and I have this great marriage. And here's Harry being like a normal guy. Is disrespectful, I think, to the moment, to the child, and truly to like the sanctity of what goes on for any humans who are actually in that situation. She's drunk on her own ego.
Let's not forget, this is the same woman who ghosted her entire family, accused the royal household of running a conspiracy ring, and went to war with breakfast television. And now we're supposed to believe she's just a free spirit, twirling in the wind like a linen-clad oracle of peace? It's not freedom. It's flailing with flair. Even the lighting in that dance video looked like it wanted to escape. The sun hit her like it was trying to slap some sense into her. Birds in the background could practically be heard judging. Nature itself recoiled. Megyn Kelly, true to form, weaponized every syllable. Her tone was so dry it could have sparked a wildfire. She dismantled Meghan's interpretive fever dream in real time. You could hear the eye roll between every word. And she didn't just go after the choreography, she went for the psychology, the delusion, and the $19.99 Target leggings. Meanwhile, Harry's probably off in the corner wrestling with the Wi-Fi, trying to upload a supportive emoji. The poor guy looked like he wandered into a live-action audition for Step Up Divorce Court. There's only so many times you can say, she's just expressing herself, before your left eye starts twitching involuntarily. What started as a royal fairy tale has officially derailed into a reality show hosted by regret. And this dance video, it's the crown jewel of cringe. A living, breathing warning about what happens when you surround yourself with yes men and ignore every red flag flapping in the wind, like Meghan's blouse.
Know what every working mother out there in America and the UK and beyond does when they're pregnant? Shut up. No one cares that you were pampered day and night and then you had to go out and be loved and adored by a bunch of people while you're... Shut the F up. We all go to work every day. It's very fucking hard. I don't feel sorry for you. You know, like I didn't have people bringing me my meals and rubbing my feet at the end of the day, as I guarantee you these two did. No one cares. Our sympathies aren't with you. They are with the women who work 2 or 3 jobs just to put food on the table, who have husbands who aren't present, who are already supporting kids, who are in shitty jobs where they're not going to get a vacation. I don't care. You know what she can't get.
There's a fine line between confidence and delusion. Meghan didn't just cross it, she pole vaulted over it in platform sneakers. The dance was clearly meant to say, I'm thriving. Instead, it screamed, I need better friends and a hobby that doesn't involve public self-sabotage. And the commentary from Meghan and Joe? Honestly, a duet of brutal clarity and sarcastic bewilderment, like 2 eagles circling a very confused squirrel. Meghan's roast had the precision of a Shakespearean insult wrapped in Botox. Joe's response was more of a caveman grunt with a side-eye flourish, but somehow it still landed with more intellectual weight than Meghan's choreography. In a just world, this video would come with a warning. Caution may cause sudden loss of respect, spontaneous face palms, and the uncontrollable urge to throw your phone into traffic. But alas, Meghan posted it like it was the Sermon on the Mount. She probably saw herself as a beacon of liberation. Instead, she became a meme, a living gesture in her own self-produced tragedy. No amount of soul-searching, herbal tea, or influencer. Collabs can erase the digital footprint of that performance. And the only thing more dramatic than the dance itself? The PR spin. Press releases calling it authentic and joyful, a battalion of interns scrambling to brand it as whimsical. But here's your wake-up call. When Joe Rogan and Megyn Kelly agree on something, it's not whimsy, it's a full-blown intervention.
She's going to turn him into a Kardashian.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, listen, they're already so popular. All they need to do is start endorsing fucking makeup lines and sneakers and watches and shit. Next thing you know, Jed's a millionaire.
Yeah, well, she's got a massive following on Instagram, which I suspect she wants
you
to
go.
She wants to monetize that thing.
Well, how much do you think they make? Find out how much they make.
Megyn could have stayed quiet, started a charity, read the room. But instead, she danced like the Wi-Fi password depended on it. And now she's being roasted in high definition by two of the sharpest, least forgiving voices in media. There's a lesson here. Somewhere, probably something about humility, restraint, or just the basic importance of having one brutally honest friend who'll say, hey, maybe don't post that. But for Megyn, self-awareness exited the palace right after her acting career did. In the meantime, the rest of us are here, watching, laughing, replaying that dance with the kind of morbid fascination usually reserved. For nature documentaries, the kind where the gazelle definitely doesn't make it. Because Meghan Markle may never stop trying to reinvent herself, but will never stop noticing when she does it with jazz hands and unchecked delusions. So, twirl on, Duchess of Disaster. The world is your stage. Unfortunately, the audience brought popcorn and sarcasm instead of applause.
Amount of humanizing videos, even if she managed to find one, are going to work. If you actually are a good person, you don't show up at the Uvalde mass school shooting and put yourself on camera and make it about you. You don't see photo op when you see dead children, which she did. So spare us.
As if things couldn't get much worse, she suddenly becomes so erratic that it appears to be her, Megyn is not redefining royalty. Rather, she is turning it into a TikTok fad gone rogue. The only throne she is currently sitting on is a bar stool, of delusions spinning in circles while reality politely exits stage left. Chakra's filed a restraining order somewhere in Buckingham Palace, where a corgi is likely keeled over in secondhand embarrassment. Megyn, with her ego intact and her belief that she was the lead in a Disney reboot intact, Megyn danced right into the Inferno arms after Kelly lit the match and Joe Rogan poured the gasoline.